And we're back, and if I sound a bit weird, it's because I'm not feeling too hot right now, and I don't want to bother sitting in my chair, because my computer chair is the worst thing ever. It's terrible, so I'm laying on my bed, looking sideways at the screen, so I hope it sounds fine, but anyway, I loaded the save up, and I guess I saved one dialogue box after the one that I ended the video with, so I just have to go read the other old one off. After Kotli left, a sadness fell upon all in the dorm. We gathered in the dining hall for no particular purpose. Now I can close that. Not wanting to be alone, I stayed nearby in the kitchen and did some of my work.
小鳥先輩、戻ってきますよね。当然でしょ。本人がそれを望んでるんだから。それにしても、娘の話もろくに聞かずに。ひどい親。
Even though, comma, alright. It seems like it would just be like one straight sentence, but alright. I don't really think we have much say in any of this. Everyone turned to look at me after my whisper carried over the counter. When Kotli was unconscious after the accident, we were also worried, scared, rather. As I spoke, everyone's expression went dark as they remembered that moment. And to hear that news all the way in Tokyo, her father must have been completely terrified.
だろうね。だからって、あんな言い方ひどいです。
That's how parents always are.
鳥先輩が私たちと同じ夢を見られないなんて。
Please don't get her all wrapped up in your normal person dreams. Even though it wasn't about me, hearing her father say those words ripped my heart out. I'd always been by her side. To see all of her efforts, her dreams, not able to be realized was crushing. I can't imagine how Kotli felt when she heard that. The front doorbell rang.
Aoi-kun! Hibari-san kiteru yo!
Everyone looked up as Kaneko called for me. I dried off my hands and hurried to the entrance. Well, that's your fault. No, why would you be the one apologizing? No, I should be the one apologizing. It's not my place to say anything. How's Kotli?
今、私の家にいます。泣き疲れて眠ってしまいました。落ち着いたら今夜にでも父と話し合ってもらうつもりです。
I see. I was relieved to know she wouldn't be going back to Tokyo immediately.
父の態度に気を悪くされたでしょう。
No, that's not really it.
父も今は事故やグライダーのことを急に聞かされ気が動転しているんだと思います。ショックだったと思います。私もそうでしたから。
All the things that were hidden were revealed in the worst way possible. Considering that he was quite calm, even gentlemanly. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't say anything.
小鳥ちゃんの事故のことをご存じなければしょうがないと思います。それに悪いのは心配をかけるのを分かっていて黙っていたあの子ですから。
Oh, what's gonna happen with her? The look on Hibori's face told me that she didn't know.
父と小鳥ちゃんの話し合い次第だと思います。
My mouse is pretty responsive from over here on the bed. I might actually just play games like this instead of sitting on that awful chair. And if he's opposed to it, she'll never lay a finger on a glider again. Wouldn't she be able to stay if that were the case?
そう約束していただけるなら私からも父に頼んでみます。
Thanks. Hibori bowed and took her leave.
どうだった？ひばりさん、なんて？あの人、どうなるの？
As I entered the dining hall, an avalanche of questions came my way. I had to push my way into the dining hall. We don't know anything yet. Kotli is going to talk to her father tonight. Hibori seems to understand her position. She's on Kotli's side. That is, on the condition Kotli doesn't go near the glider again. I guess it doesn't matter, the glider, we don't have it anymore anyway. Meza sat down looking relieved. Ake and Yoru didn't seem as relaxed.
今は待つしかないってことね。
Right, and we need to do what we can do. We need to do what we can. Okay, and we need to do what we can. Okay, so we can fly when Kotori comes back. Yeah, okay. Make a new glider. After finishing my kitchen work, I headed back to my room for a breather. All the worrying and stress from the past 2 days had made me exhausted. I laid in my bed and closed my eyes. Kotori, please let me stay here. I'll forget about the glider. I won't fly anymore. That's what she's saying. Remembering Kotori's tear-stained face as she pleaded with her father twisted my heart in two. Honestly, as long as Kotori came back, not being able to fly over the morning glory isn't even a problem. I'm even fine with giving up on the glider. If we promise that, perhaps Kotori's father would allow her to be here. Wanting to hear Kotori's voice, I pulled out my cell phone. I selected Kotori's name in my contact list. I stopped. Kotori and her father may have already started talking. If I called now, I would just be a nuisance. Just as I closed my phone and was about to put it back in my pocket, it rang. I don't know if you call that rang, but I instantly opened it again and checked the screen. Agea's calling. Didn't she just go home a little bit ago? Okay. Hello. Ow. There was a sense of urgency in her voice. Calm down, where should I go? I ran with Aza and Yoru to the runway. Agea was there with Anshan. Anshan had lifted the cover off the winch and was staring at it. Stop being loud. Agea rushed over as soon as she saw me. Are you crying? Her eyes were red and filled with tears. Did they break Winchy? Anshan pulled his head away from the winch. I was at a loss for words when I saw it myself. Why? All the machinery had been destroyed. Well, that's a bit excessive. He seemed completely confused and frustrated. What is this? Who in the world would have done that? As soon as the words left my mouth, I had a realization. There was only one person who could have done this. He did it. I clenched my fist so hard my nails began digging into my palm. It's weird music. This is like the ambient music I'd hear in, like, Prince of Persia. Oh, we don't even have the plane anyway. I could hear her beginning to cry as she whispered. I put an arm around her shoulder to steady her. She was trembling so much that she had to use my body for support. Not only did we lose the glider, our wings, but the winch was broken too. We lost all our means of getting up into the sky. After taking Ageha back home, I brought Aza and Yoru to the dorm. Having seen all of them in tears brought an even heavier sadness over me. Why did this happen to us? Confused by the strange yet obvious malice and the sense of loss from having the glider taken away, I was consumed by an overpowering sense of lethargy. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for coming. Anshan had come as soon as Ageha called him. When I came, Ageha had already looked like she was about to cry. If he hadn't come, she would have already burst into tears by now.
何？お前らが困ってるならいつでも駆けつけるさ。
He spoke with an anxious look on his face.
大変だったみたいだな。
Kind of. I didn't want to say anything more than that. If I started to talk, I probably wouldn't be able to stop. I wanted him to listen to what happened. I wanted to act like a little child. He must have known how I felt as he began to pat me on the head.
それじゃあもう行くよ。そろそろ戻らないとおやすさんにどやされる。
Alright, thanks, An-chan. As I raised my hand to thank him, An-chan stood up and started to leave. He took one step and thus stopped, and then stopped. What's wrong?
飛岡先生があそこまでやるのは、もしかすると俺たちのせいかもしれない。
What do you mean?
いや、すまん。忘れてくれ。
An-chan was being unusually vague. Thinking that strange, I went and looked at the mess that was behind him. Ugh. Closing the door behind me, I could only sigh at what I had seen. The winch was completely destroyed. An-chan said that he'd try to fix it as quickly as possible, but at best it'd take more than a week. There's also the possibility that it couldn't be fixed at all. I guess we can't fly anymore. Not that we could anyway. I threw myself onto my bed. I was so exhausted I could barely stand. I opened up my cell phone as if it may have the answer to my problems. One new message. Huh? Hadn't even noticed I got a message at some point. Sender Kodari. Oh, I jumped out of bed and opened the message. Don't worry, I'll come back. It seems like she had written in a hurry. Even though it's the same comma there. Even though it was enough to completely re-energize me. Wait, what? Even though it was completely enough to completely... it sounds like it's worded wrong. I quickly wrote back a reply. Okay, I'll be waiting. Short message is best. Only say what I have to say. Closed my phone and got up again. Agaya. As soon as I entered the secret base, I noticed Agaya was also there. What are you doing here? Hadn't she just gotten home? I was just wondering if there was anything I could do. Seems so. Suggested to Agaya that I had come up with... I suggested to Agaya what I had come up with on my way here. Okay. Remember that rubber cord that Yoru found a while ago? I wonder if we can use that. I was thinking that. Agaya smiled smugly. Well, do you really think this will get a glider to fly? It was something that looked like a bunch of rubber bands put together to make a rope. And it was quite long, and right in the middle of it had a metal ring attached. It looked as if it was designed to attach to the glider's hook. Yoru had found it in this warehouse. Through a little research, Agaya found that it was used for launching gliders. Using the recoil from rubber should make it possible to fly. What, are you going to slingshot it? I just can't see this working. Boy. Someone entered the dock. Seems Azo and Yoru were thinking the same thing we were. Came here thinking there might be something we can do. Oh, we don't really have much in the way of time or options. Decided it was a good time to pull out my cell phone and show it to everyone. I got a message from Kodori earlier. Don't worry, I'll come back. Everyone stared at the short message. It was almost as if they expected some other meaning to be hidden amongst those 5 words.
こりゃあの子が戻ってきた時、離陸準備ができてないとどやされるわね。
If we just sit around sucking our thumbs, she'll be livid, no doubt about it. As I said this, everyone began snickering as they remember the time Kodali flipped out on me. Which time? That happens like all the time. Okay, first let's look up on this a bit. Whoops. Oh well, that was sudden. Okay, I gathered a bit of information on the internet. We all began to stare at what she had found. Rubber cord towing. Taking out via winch is winch towing. Using a rubber cord is rubber cord towing.
別名パチンコ英語?
Oh, it is that. Okay. Mike. Hello. Okay, my mic seems quiet. The long rubber cord is attached to the glider, and the ends are pulled and then off it flies, just like a slingshot. In the slingshot, though, you don't want the shots to just go all over the place.
なんかすごい原始的ね。
Could that really get the glider to fly?
さあ。あ、ここに動画があるよ。
Yeah, click to open up the video. It was of a rubber cord towing of a glider by a riverbed. To us, it was quite the spectacle. First, the ring on the rubber cord is attached to the hook that we used for the winch. Then the glider stays in place while the cord is pulled on with a lot of manpower. Sort of like a huge tug-of-war. When the cord is pulled just enough, the pilot releases the brake and then... Yogi began growling at the video.
飛びましたね。ちょっぴり。
Well, I mean, if we threw it off a cliff, it might work. Glider flew up about maybe 10 or 2 meters high. It didn't even go 10 meters. Okay, I read the instructions.
これはもともと軽いグライダーを飛ばすのに用いる方法らしいわね。だからうちの複座式となると、ちょっと厳しいかも。
The weight of the 2 people wouldn't help either.
浮き上がるかどうかも怪しいわね。
There wouldn't be enough acceleration. Even if it did, getting it high enough to get to the clouds would be another problem. With that acceleration, the glider would stall before getting into a vertical draft.
やっぱりウインチと人力じゃパワーに差がありすぎるか。複座式のグライダーを十分な高さまで上げようと思ったら、よほど強力で十分な長さのゴムがないと不可能だわ。
Couldn't you just hook it up to like a tow truck? You need enough people to pull it. It might theoretically be possible, but realistically, it's close to impossible. And there's no way to get a long enough cord in time. Yeah, I don't think this will work.
わかんない。まだ他に方法あるかも。
Okay, I began searching on the internet again. Okay, you handle this. I'm gonna go look for the glider.
見てくるって？
Well, before we take the glider back, we have to know where it is, right? I need a drink.
やだよ。
Oh crap, I closed the... Okay. I accidentally closed the game. I told Mabo my plan after he took me to the school. He wasn't taking the idea well. Please, you gotta do something.
なんとかってお前。今度バレたらただじゃ済まないんだぞ。
No, I won't say that you told me, please.
なこと言っても、こないだのも俺だってバレてるし。
I was only asking that he help me find where the glider was being stored, that's all. Since he's part of student council, he can get places most students can't.
だいたいお前らだって今度逆らったらどうなるかわかんねえんだろ。
Nope.
やめとけって。もうお前ら無茶しすぎだ。たかが空飛ぶ飛ばないって話だろ。どうしてそこまでやるんだよ。
Well, you see... Stop mid-sentence.
お前まさか 何も考えずにやってんのか？
Gotta open my window a bit more. Alrighty. No, I just hadn't sat down and put all my thoughts together, that's all. I could try to do it, but there was just no way to really put it into words. I don't know the best way to say it. Well, it feels like if we don't do it, I'd be betraying myself. I really worked so hard on this. How could I possibly betray my own hard work? Forgot how to speak for a second. Remembering the time Kotori and I stared straight up at the sky, that is exactly what I didn't want to betray. Tilted his head to the side with a confused expression on his face. Suddenly he sighed.
お前ってやっぱかっこいいな。昔からさ、お前とかアゲハはやっぱ俺とは違うよ。
Really? Now it was my turn to be confused.
俺からすりゃ、お前らが憧れでずっと見上げて生きてきたってことだよ。
Really? Mabo gave me a frustrated look as I nodded, only half understanding what he was saying.
わかったよ、手伝ってやる。
Really?
幼馴染ってやつはつれえな。ずっと一緒にいるとバカが映っちまう。ただし絶対にあかりさんにはバレないように頼むぞ。もしバレたら俺の恋の行方が。
何のご相談かしら。
Why are you here?
ここ学校よ。
That's true. But it's summer vacation.
クラブハウスの修繕費の見積もりを今日中に出さないといけないのよ。
She spoke in a jaded tone. Kali really is a hard worker.
というわけだ。悪かったな、葵。力になれなくて。
What? What happened to the way you were acting just a few minutes ago?
分かってくれよ。俺にとってあかりさんはお前らとの腐れ縁より何百倍も大事なんだ。
Kali looked at the two of us, whispering with an emotionless look on her face.
私も水瀬君にお話があったんだけど、何やらお取り込み中のようね。
いえいえ、こいつとの話はもう終了したんで。な、葵。
No, we're not. But anyway, what is it you want to talk about? Kali wanting to talk to me wasn't exactly a common thing.
ハバネさんのこと聞いたわ。とても残念だけど、我々生徒会はあなたたちをかばうことはできません。力になれなくてごめんなさい。
I understand. That's how it was from the start anyway. I should be the one apologizing. Sorry about all the trouble we caused you. Kali had approved the soaring club, which had made her take responsibility for it.
それは構わないわ。私が信念に基づきやったことだから。ただ、こうなってしまったことは残念だけど、私も見たかったわ。あなたたちのグライダーが飛ぶところを。
Kali was looking out of the window as she spoke to me.
望月先輩が何年もかけて追いかけていたものが何なのか、それが結実するところをこの目で見てみたかった。
Kali?
お話というのはそれだけよ。
Oh, okay. Kali's business persona had returned. Once she was finished, she turned around and walked down the hallway. After a few steps, she stopped. She stood still with her back to us.
あかりさん？
She suddenly turned around and walked towards us.
昨日、飛岡先生たちが何やら大きなものを持って帰ってくるのを見かけたわ。
Huh?
中身は知らないし、特に興味もないのだけれど、どうやらそれはグラウンドにある体育遊具室に保管したみたい。あそこならしっかりと鍵がかけられますからね。
Thanks, but why are you...
深い意味はないわ。世間話よ。悪いかしら。
Saying that in an irritated tone, she turned around again.
それじゃ。
This time she actually left. Thank you. I stared at the ground, completely dumbfounded. Why'd you tell me that?
さあ、飛岡のやり方に相当ムカムカ来てたからな。 ああ見えて怒ると怖いんだ。
The gym storeroom. Alright, let's go, partner.
勝手に人を相棒にすんな。
Headed off to the sports field, almost pulling my boat behind me. As expected, the storeroom was locked. I did a quick inspection of the warehouse and took my leave. Well, at least we learned where it's being kept. Now we can get it back when we have to. Of course, that is a huge risk to take. I rushed back to the secret base deep in thought. As I was walking up a slight hill, I glanced at the sky over the lake. I began to run.
綺麗ですね。まるで朝焼けみたい。ねえ、アゲハ先輩。あれって。ええ、多分。そうだと思う。
I ran down the hill towards the runway, placed my hands on my knees and tried to catch my breath. The cell phone had been ringing for some time now. I answered it without checking to see who was calling. Hello? I can see it. Standing in the middle of the runway, I had a clear view of the sky. The eastern sky was a bluish purple. I don't see very much of the bluish part there. To the west, the sky was the same orange that always was at sunset. This is what we had been waiting for all this time. The sky we'd been yearning for, praying for. Staring at the beautiful gradient of the bluish purple to the deep vermilion, my body began to tremble. I was suddenly overjoyed, excited, and impatient. Each second a new feeling welled up inside me. Yep, it's the sign. Morning glory is coming. And we're going to a drink break. Okay, that was weirdly timed.
Aoiがいない間に他の方法も調べてみたんだけど、どれも今から準備するには厳しいわ。
Gaius searched for other ways to launch besides a windshield record, but you couldn't find something we could do in time. Even though the signs have come.
もうちょっと調べてみる。
Alright, counting on you. As I was saying that, I pulled out my phone to check for messages. No new messages was displayed on the screen. Ever since then, I hadn't heard from Kotori. And then she already discussed it with her father. Since I hadn't heard anything, it probably meant nothing had been decided, but I decided to write a message to Kotori. I saw a sign just now, the morning glory is coming tomorrow morning. She'll definitely come back. Knowing that, I pressed send. Aza and Yoru came back, each holding a big shopping bag.
おかえり。おにぎりがあんまりなかったからサンドイッチを買ってきたわ。あと姉さんがおやつをたんまりと。ご苦労さん。
We're gonna stay here tonight. I had the two of them go stock up for our siege.
そっちはどうですか？どれも今からじゃ厳しそう。ということは今のところ残された方法はゴム柵だけってことね。
Yoru looked devastated.
小鳥先輩はどうなったんでしょう。
Gail looked at me. I shook my head to reply. I haven't heard anything yet.
モーニンググローリーがもう来ちゃうのね。ひばりさんに頼んでみたらどうかな。モーニンググローリーが来てる間だけこっちに連れてきてほしいって。
I'm gonna wait a bit longer. If I don't hear back, I'll do that. That sign was correct. The real thing was coming tomorrow morning. Even then, it would only be around for 2, maybe 3 hours.
けどそれもグライダーが飛べたらの話よ。機体もない、離陸もできないじゃ意味ないわ。 だよね。皆さんご飯にしませんか？
Naza seemed to try to perk us up just as we were getting down. Yeah.
そういや、もうお腹ペコペコだわ。
Without realizing it, our normal mealtime had long since passed. Whoops. Everyone started to take whatever they wanted out of the shopping bags. We're waiting for her instant noodles again, search for a picture of the rubber towing cable found earlier in the day. A huge crowd of people pulled on the cord and the glider rose only a few scant meters. That was a simple white glider. A two-seater would never be able to get in the air by this method. Everyone stared at the screen, having given up.
これはなんだい？これはゴム作以降のってうわ！
All of a sudden, there was Amane peeking over Gare's shoulder to see the computer screen. Amane, when did you get here? Placing her helmet on the desk, she answered while looking at the screen.
さっきだ。入ってきても誰も気づかないから、ちょっとだけ傷ついたぞ。
Oh, we'd been staring at the screen so hard we didn't even notice she had arrived.
ゴム作栄光。こんなやり方もあったのか。
She seemed genuinely interested. I guess there are things even she doesn't know. She began looking at the resources Age had brought up.
なるほど。面白いなこれ。でもこれじゃ私たちのグライダーは飛ばないな。
My heart sank as soon as the words came out of her mouth. If Amane Mochizuki says it's impossible, it's impossible.
どうした？暗い顔をして。
Well, the truth is, I told Amane about the broken winch.
そうだったのか。それで他の発行方法を探していたんです。
Amane began looking at the resources again. This time she was serious. I guess it's nearly impossible.
そうだな。
Amane grunted at the screen. I guess it is impossible.
そういえば小鳥はどうしたんだ？
She spoke as if she had just remembered about her. I like how we're just not telling anything. Like, we're like doing all this stuff and we're not telling anything to her. A shocked look came across my face. That's right, with everything that had happened, I forgot to tell Amane about Kotori and everything else.
今日退院してくる予定だったよな。
Akea was looking worried. Oh yeah, she didn't seem to have any major injuries. She seems good.
そうか。よかった。
But after that, I explained to her what happened after Kotori left the hospital.
そんなことがあったのか。それでまだ連絡はないのかい？
Alright, nothing yet. Amane began looking worried again.
さっき予兆が見えただろ。それでこっちへ来てみたんだ。きっと小鳥が飛ぶんだろうと思って。でもそうか。小鳥は飛べないのか。もし小鳥が無理でも飛ぶところを見せてあげたくていろいろ探してみたんですが。
We were pretty much ready to give up.
残された方法はこのゴム作だけということか。あ、滑走路にジャンプ台をつけるのはどうでしょう？
Yeah, so the nose can go smashing into it before it pulls up. Nice. Asa suddenly spoke up. Everyone then turned their attention to her.
ゴムで引っ張りながらジャンプ台をグライダーがこう。
She began to explain with shaking hands. Basically, there would be a jump ramp on the runway and the glider would be shot up the ramp.
うまくいけば少なくともこの動画よりは高く飛べそうね。
Wait, what?
でしょ？
I feel like the nose would just smash into it because, like, the front wheel is, like, on the nose. Amane shook her head.
加速が足りない。仮に5、6メートルくらいまで上がれたとしてもすぐに失速してしまう。
Where would you even get one?
ジャンプ台を登るために勢いも犠牲にしてるしね。ダメですか。ジャンプ台を作るのは 今すぐ取り掛かればギリギリ行けなくもないかな。かなり無茶だけど。
Basically, the glider would have to go up at least 10 meters after it hit the ramp. If there isn't a strung with at the end of the ramp, jump ramp, there's really no point at all. Everyone was in deep thought.
上昇気流を発生させる方法があればいいわけか。
That or have it go off the cliff, and maybe that would do something. Mike, stop doing that. Just as I had about given up, I had a clap. I heard a clap of excitement come from Amane.
ああ、それでいいじゃないか。
Everyone looked at her in confusion.
そうかそうか。何も滑走路から飛び立つ必要はないんだな。いやでも危ないんじゃ。
Even if we were to start to fly like that, if we didn't have the lift at that point, what would happen? A drop would cause acceleration, but if there was no way to rise after that, it'd be completely pointless. If the glider was still high enough after it accelerated, that would be fine, but that'd have to be from a really high cliff, basically impossible. However, suddenly Amane spoke up.
それで行こう。そうしよう。
She began nodding her head as if it had already been decided.
紙と書くもの。
Taking paper and a pen from Aza, Amane began to write furiously.
機体重量がおよそ 280kg。2人の体重が合計 100kg として。
Paper began to fill up with mathematical equations and diagrams.
紙。
Aza laid down another sheet for Amane, who hadn't even lifted her head.
それじゃ足りないわ。
Yoko grabbed a bundle of paper and plopped it down in front of Amane. Without even looking up, Amane took more paper and kept on writing.
トランスモードだ。久しぶりに見た。
Amane had an intense look of concentration on her face. This was exactly like the first time I met her, when she was staring at the drawing board. When she's like this, she'll even forget that she's hungry, and she's quite the eater.
ふむふむ。なるほどね。その手があったか。
Yoko was nodding along in agreement as she read through the sheets of paper Amane was producing. Then,
時間がもったいない。私も手伝うわ。
saying that, she sat down next to Amane and began scribbling out equations. Couldn't believe my eyes. You're gonna help?
一体何が始まっているの？なんだかちょっと怖いです。
Unable to follow along with what was going on, we just watched in amazement. Alright, well, should I end it here? This is a weird place to end it, but yeah, I guess I'll end it here. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.